Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to dive into an absolutely essential part of English grammar, the simple present tense. You know, it's one of those core building blocks for everyday conversation, and I promise, by the end of this, you're going to feel super confident using it. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out what the simple present tense even is. Then, we'll get our hands dirty and start building some sentences. After that, we'll learn how to make them negative and ask questions. And finally, we'll see how you can use this in your real life. So, let's jump right in. Okay, first things first. What in the world is the simple present tense? Let's get right down to the basics, the foundation of it all. So, let's kick things off with this big question. Before I give you the textbook answer, just think for a second. When do you think we actually use this tense? What's your gut feeling? Well, here it is. The simple present is what we use for basically three big things. First, actions that happen on a regular basis. You know, your routines. Second, for general truths, stuff that's just always true, like the sky's blue. And third, for your personal habits. Really, just think of it as the tense for anything you do always, usually, or every single day. All right, now that we know what it is, let's get practical. This is where the fun starts. In this next part, we're going to actually start putting sentences together. This is your first major building block. And guess what? It all comes down to a super simple, almost magic formula. Subject plus the verb plus the object. That's it. Subject, verb, object. If you can lock this into your brain, you are well on your way. Let's see this formula in the wild, okay? Look at that first example. The subject is I, the verb is go, and the object is to school. Put it together. I go to school. Simple. Same for the next one. Subject we, verb play, object cricket. We play cricket. See? It really is that straightforward. Now, you know how every good rule has one little exception? Well, the simple present is no different. We have a special little rule we need to remember for when the subject is he, she, or it. This is super important, so pay close attention. And here's that rule, side by side. On the left, with subjects like I, we, you, or they, the verb is just its normal self. I play cricket. But look over on the right. When our subject is he, she, or it, we add an S to the verb. So I play becomes he plays. See that tiny change? It makes all the difference. Awesome job. You've got the basic positive sentence down. Now it's time to level up and learn how to modify it. So in this section, we're going to cover how to say no and how to ask questions. Making a sentence negative is actually a really simple three-step recipe. You just start with your subject, add the magic words do not or does not, and then finish up with your verb. Okay, let's give it a try. We'll take a positive sentence we already know how to make. She cooks food. Easy, right? Now, how do you think we'd flip that to make it negative? Boom, just like that. We slide does not right in between the subject she and the verb cook. So the sentence becomes, she does not cook food. We just popped in two little words and completely changed the meaning. Okay, listen up because this is super important. This is the number one mistake people make. In the positive sentence, it was she cooks with an S. But look, when we add does not, the verb goes back to its original form. The S vanishes from the verb. It's she does not cook, not she does not cooks. That little S basically jumps over to the word does. So what about questions? Well, it's just as easy. We just shuffle the words around a little bit. We start with do or does, then bring in our subject and finish with the verb. Let's look at a few of these in action. See how we use do for subjects like you and they? Do you play cricket? And then we use does for subjects like he and she, like in does he work hard? The pattern is always the same. All right, we've gone through all the rules. But you know, grammar isn't just about memorizing stuff from a book, right? It's about actually communicating. So in this last section, let's connect all this stuff directly to your life and see why this is so important for your everyday English. And trust me on this one, this isn't just some random grammar rule you'll never use. You are going to use the simple present tense all the time. It's literally the language of your daily life, your habits, and your routines. I mean, just look at these examples. These are things we say all the time to describe what we do. I wake up early. That's a habit. I go to work daily. A regular action. She speaks English. That's just a fact about her.
This tense is absolutely everywhere.
So, to wrap everything up, I've got a little challenge for you. What is one thing that you do every single day? Using that simple subject verb object formula we talked about, try to say it out loud right now. Go on. That's how you really make learning stick. Keep practicing, and thanks so much for watching.